What is going on, everybody? Today we're looking at the Mattel Turtles of Grayskull Deluxe Walmart exclusive figures. So we got 4 figures here to look at today, and again, they're deluxe, so they'll be bigger figures and come with more accessories. So first off, we have Krang in Krang's android body, although now it's one of the giants from Eternius. Looks cool, so we get Krang in there that can go in the middle of it, so we can put that in there, and just looks pretty cool. So just the combination of Krang with the android and with the giants from Eternius, so that looks pretty cool. And of course, we have all the pictures there on the back, so there's like the giant fighting Raphael there, so that looks pretty cool. Then we also have Mossman, who has been mutated, so now he's this like mutated version, comes with like a Venus flytrap sort of headpiece. Looks pretty cool there. We can see it on the back. It's gonna be hard to fit in here, fighting against Leonardo there, which looks pretty cool. And then behind them we have our other two of Mer-Man, which looks awesome. Is now turned into a Leviathan as it's labeled. Looks pretty cool. It will have like the snake body that we've seen before, so that's pretty cool, or the normal legs we can switch to. And then finally we have Leatherhead, which was the one we've been waiting on, and finally we're able to find it at Walmart, and it looks pretty cool. Doesn't really seem too much going on with Leatherhead, just like he's got a little bit different outfit on, but otherwise it's still just Leatherhead and looks cool there as well. So I'm excited to check these 4 figures out, so let me get them open out of the box and we'll take a look at them together. So let's start off with Krang. So when Krang and Shredder get transported to Eternia and they discover the strongest power in the universe, the power of Grayskull, they team up with Skeletor to mutate many of the heroes and villains, and Krang gets a new android body in the form of a Megatar, which is a green skin giant in the Motu universe, so that's what we have, his android body here, which looks pretty good. Of course, it's got that Motu look to it. We don't have any of those Megatars in like Motu Origins or anything, so don't really have anything to compare it. Just I saw a picture of it online. Like I said, just looks like a giant person with green skin and black hair. So that's kind of what you see with this, but it's just a more giant body. And then we will get the section to put in the middle with Krang inside it. But it looks pretty good. So we get like the lined eyes like the android body has, and again, bigger body where it's got like, the gloves and boots on in red. They're just the Motu versions this time. And then I love it with the green skin based off those giants. It's got a big helmet design with like horns off to the side. Again, the little eye designs. It's got a big underbite there with 2 teeth sticking out. A little bit of black hair sticking up out of the top as well. Then it has this big chest plate with harness and stuff, so nice like bronze chains going around it there and at the waist, with like the loincloth hanging down as well, so that all looks pretty nice. Like I said, very Motu design in a bunch of this, all the way down to the fur boots there like we see normally with the Motu characters. So overall looks pretty cool with this design. Obviously when we put the Krang in the center stuff, it'll look a lot better and more like the android body, but just as it is here, it looks pretty good as well. So movement-wise, we get that'll twist all the way around. It can look down that far and up that far, so about the same movements we usually see with the Motu characters. We get the shoulder that comes up to 90 and will rotate all the way around. We get the single elbow joint to 90 there with the rotation in it, and then the wrist will twist around and hinge back and forth a little. We get the twist all the way around at the waist as usual. The hips will come up. It's always hard with the hips, so it can come up there about 45 and then out to the side as well that far, which is pretty decent. We get the single knee joint back with rotation. So again, only been so far, but has rotation. Shin twist at the top of the boot, and the foot flexes back and forth and twists side to side. So as I mentioned, pretty much all the same movements we normally see with the Motu characters, so nothing new or out of the ordinary there. But as I mentioned, this is the android body, so we do get a Krang to go along with it. So we get the little brain Krang guy here that looks pretty good, the Utrom. So nice with the little brain design. He's got the long like tentacle arms coming out of the front there, and then his ugly face. So we get the mouth with all the teeth and his yellow eyes, so it looks pretty ugly. Now, unfortunately, this isn't very good as like a single figure because it's all opened in the back here because of the way it's designed to go into it. So unfortunately, you kind of have to put it inside the body. You can't really just have this floating around by itself. But to do that, we get a midsection that we can insert in between the body. So with the Motu figures, all their own limbs and body and stuff all comes apart. So we get this segment we can put in. So nice segment. I love how it's got like the almost turtle shell design or whatever's going on back there. We get a like trap door here in the front that opens up that Krang will sit inside of then. So we got to take the body apart and put this in between it. So there's that midsection in the middle there. Of course, it makes it really tall now. It extends it out there. It kind of looks goofy, but I like it though at the same time that we can now take the Krang and just open the little door. So the Krang sits over this piece, so that's why it's all shaped out of the back there, all weird. And then we can get the tentacles through the door as well. So there you can have Krang inside the android body sticking out like he does with the normal android. So that is pretty cool. So really like that design. Like I said, it looks goofy with especially of how long it is because the legs are still short and squat, but now the upper torso is really extended out, so it looks quite awkward there. But especially once you put Krang in the middle, it does make it look relatively decent. And then it comes with some weapons. So first we get an axe, and of course with like the axe we can just put in his hand like normal, but it also has the joint that we could peg it into his hand, so it's like his hand is now a weapon, so we can take this hand out so it can peg into the hand like that. So like I said, now it's got this big weapon, or we can just put it into its hand, so it'll go into his hand like that. And then we also get a mace, so we get a mace on a chain here, so like a Morningstar flail. Looks pretty cool with the chain, and again we can plug this into the wrist as well. So now it's got two weapons there, so it can now hold the axe as well as the mace there, which is pretty cool. So that looks awesome there. So now Krang can really go into battle as opposed to just his brainy self. Can't really do much, but when he's in the big android body, he now fight against all our Ninja Turtles and now the Masters of the Universe as well. So that looks pretty cool for Krang in his android body. And next up, we've got Moss-Man, who joins He-Man and Ram-Man to investigate a paradimensional disturbance in the swamp of Gangoon, but they get ambushed and mutated by Krang, Shredder, and Skeletor. So Moss-Man awakes as a brainwashed plant monster, as we see here. And so in this form, he's a zombified manifestation of the Dark Forest. He's covered with dangerous plants and emits a toxic scent. So it looks pretty cool here, but again, it looks like Moss-Man just mutated, so he's now all this see-through green. So it looks pretty nice. So he's been affected by the mutagen, but I love how he's got almost like armor on here that kind of looks a little bit like Beastman's armor, but it's in the purple and it's all like viney and stuff, and like looks like branches and roots. Has some spikes up here by its head, and then a little bit of bone there on his chest as well, but otherwise looks cool, like I said, with all see-through body, nice red eyes in there, and of course it looks almost like Beastman's sort of head design. But him and Moss-Man share a lot of similarities anyway, so it's not surprising. But he's got the green underwear on, and then like this reddish bronze sort of belt along with the bands there on his wrist, and then his feet have almost turned into like tree roots sort of branching out there, so that looks pretty cool as well. So I really like the see-through design. I think it looks awesome, and of course he's got like the furry skin and all that. At least he's not Flock this time, which is good, but obviously it's not the normal Moss-Man, but it still looks cool. I like this design for him overall. Now Moot Mize, we get that'll twist around. Of course, gotta get stuck on the spikes and stuff there. Look down that far, look up that far, so about the same. Shoulders can come up to 90 and rotate all the way around. We get the single elbow joint to 90 with rotation. The wrist twist around, flex back and forth. Then we go to the twist at the waist. The hips will come up again that far, about 45, and out to the side there. You can get pretty far. Single knee joint back with the rotation in it. Shin twist there in the middle of the leg, and then the foot will flex back and forth and twist side to side. So again, about the same. Not as much movement there in that ankle, but otherwise everything else works exactly the same. So overall works out good for Moss-Man here. Now he does come with a number of accessories. So first we'll just go and you can add these onto his back. So we get these like purple tentacles sticking off the back of him. So he has the slots in here that we can stick. I'm not sure if they go in any particular way. So I went ahead and stuck those in the back just like that. So it has the design where the tentacles are more coming up, where obviously you could put them in the other way and they would be facing down more. So it just depends on exactly how you want them sticking out of his back. So we got that so far. Then he does come with a big arm as well. So he gets this big like see-through arm made of plants and vines and all that sort of stuff sort of reaching out there. Looks like he may have a canister of ooze or something supposed to be going on in his hand there as well, but just a nice big claw. Now to put this in his hand, you just slide this into his hand like a grip. That's the thing, I'm going to knock this thing over so many times, but you just put this in like a grip and then it kind of sits perfectly onto his arm. So like I said, goes in there, and then it's designed to like sort of wrap around his arm there so he can have that big claw sort of reaching out. And then he also comes with this big like Venus flytrap sort of piece. Now I think this is supposed to be a shield. I'm not exactly sure how you really even get this in his hand, because I don't know how he would hold on to it to hold it like a shield. Yeah, I have no idea. I can't get him to hold this at all, but I swear it showed it as like a shield in the picture. Like I said, I'm not sure how you get it to really hold on to his hand. I tried taking his hand off and see if it would attach anywhere in the back here, but it doesn't. But it does also come with this piece that we can turn it into his head, so it makes it like his head's a big Venus flytrap or whatever, so we can attach this on here and onto his head. So let's see if I can get this on. So there he is with the big Venus flytrap head. Again, not really sure if that's how it's supposed to sit on or look. I don't think it looks very good because it just makes him like his head, really long. But the Venus flytrap does have a maneuver where it can actually like close on things. So again, not sure how it's supposed to sit or work or any of that sort of thing, what direction it's supposed to sit in, but it does look cool. I like the Venus flytrap thing. I just, like I said, said, don't know how it's supposed to work, like the way it sits in his hands and all that. So I'd say this Mossman is a mess. Like, I probably just am messing something up, but it just doesn't seem to work out the best overall. The only thing that really works out good on him is his claws. These things on the back look cool, but if, like I said, I've been trying to mess around with him, and everything I do just keeps knocking them out of the back as well. So probably just giving him the normal Mossman head would probably be the best option. So as usual with a lot of things, it's cool that he comes with all that stuff and it looks cool. It just doesn't work too well on the figure. So like I said, I'll probably just have to mess around with it or look at pictures online to see exactly how everything goes. But like I said, I do like the Venus flytrap and the fact that it moves and all that. It just doesn't work out with how it's supposed to from the pictures I thought I saw in the box. But still a cool looking figure, just could be executed a little bit better. And next up, we've got Mer-Man, who answers Skeletor's call to Snake Mountain, but turns out it was a trap. He is taken by Krang and gets covered in mutagen and turns into a mindless Leviathan sea monster that we have here. So he's turned into half Leviathan that drips toxic ooze from his tail and has algae for brains. It's not too smart for this version of Mer-Man, but does look really cool. I really like this design. It's cool. We get the tail like Lady Slither and other like Motu Snakeman characters we've had before, so that's pretty cool. He does come with normal legs as well. Very similar to Mossman, he's all see-through, so he's got this like lighter blue see-through. Love again how it's like the mutagen like veins running through it. We saw that with the He-Man, mutated He-Man version. And then his face there still looks like Mer-Man. I like how he's got like the little anglerfish sort of light there in the front now, the big crazy eyes there in red with gold around it, and his mouth, the fins off to the side like Mer-Man normally has, and then his head there just in that see-through blue color, which looks cool. Then we get his armor on top, so we get this nice gold armor with the armor plating going out to the side, nice spikes all around it, and a little pearl there in the center. Pretty much normal looking belt there for him. It's got, similar design with the light blue and the gold there. It looks pretty cool with that design. He's got nice purple hands, like metallic purple hands, kind of offset and different from the rest of them till you get to his tail there, and then nice gold bracers as well, and goes around to the back, so that all looks pretty decent. And again, we get that snake tail, so it's like a nice teal color here in the back going into the purplish blue there on the tail, and like a gold underneath. That looks pretty cool with the different segments, so just looks nice overall for this version of Mer-Man. Now, Moot Mize, we get this head that'll twist around again, getting caught on spikes there, but can twist around, look down that far and up that far. So just a little bit of movement there. Shoulders can come up to 90 and rotate around. Probably can't get all the way around because of the armor, but the single elbow joint to 90 with rotation. Wrist will twist all the way around and hinge back and forth. Then we get his twist at the waist. Yeah, he twists there. We can see him twist around. Then we go down to the snake pieces, so we get all the different segments. So each one will twist and then rock back and forth or around there, so you can get it all adjusted to be able to get him standing up like I have him here. But again, obviously you can move all those to do whatever you want, but you get him in certain position. You gotta like get him balanced out to be able to stand up with the tail, so it works out there. But as I mentioned, he does also come with the leg pieces, so we get the lower half. So we get the nice blue or purple short collar underwear with the gold belt, the see-through legs, which look cool, and the gold shin guards there, which have nice texture to it, looks like. So pretty nice for that. So we could easily switch that out as well, just split them in half, and there we have like a more normal looking Mer-Man there now. So if we want to have that, but I think I like the snake version more, but just so we get the different options there, you have that. So let's put him back together. But for accessories, obviously we got the legs as I showed you. He comes with a sword as well. So we get this nice green sword, has some yellow here on the end of it, but nice sword design overall. It's got some like, underwatery like coral sort of stuff textured on it. So that looks cool. So we can put that into his hand. So there, Mer-Man's ready for fighting now. But it's also cool, he comes with a trident, but unfortunately only has one grip hand, so you have to pick and choose between the different weapons. I think I like the trident maybe a little bit more, so let's switch it out. So there's Mer-Man with the trident, which does look pretty cool. So I'll probably just leave that with him for now, but you get the different options with the sword or the trident. I just wish he had two grip hands so he could hold both of them at once. But overall, looks pretty cool there. Really like this design, like I said, especially with that lower snake body. And then just the mutated, like see-through versions of Mer-Man here, I think looks really cool. So really like this design for him. And finally, we have Leatherhead, who is the mutated alligator that has spent his life hunting down the Ninja Turtles, but is summoned to Eternia by Krang and Shredder to capture characters so that they can be mutated. So he himself doesn't really get mutated. He does have different armor, more Motuized armor, but otherwise he stays, the humanoid crocodile because he was already mutated in the turtle world. So just looks like Leatherhead that we've had before, so just the alligator body. So we get the nice alligator-like head, his little eyes there, yellow eyes with the slits. Again, nice green color color to him, but with like some yellow outlines. Looks awesome with his big mouth there, which of course we can open up his mouth, which looks nice there with the tongue inside and all that. So we get the big mouth open there. Then like I said, he does have more like Motu-ized armor, so he's got like his leather vest on with like little teeth here on the front, but it's got some like the square designs and like studs and stuff, very similar to like what the Motu characters have. And of course the big nice fur piece like King Grayskull here up on him, so that's cool with the little fur underwear, gold belt and gold bracers there. And then he's got the Motu style shoes on, so the fur boots there as well, with his long tail attached onto the back. Now I don't like the way this looks too much. Now obviously if you stand him like normal, he'd kind of be leaning forward, so I have to cut it out to the side just to be able to get him to stand up, and it just looks awkward the way it's attached onto the back here of him. So I wish it was more seamless there and looked a little bit better, you know, almost like a rattler sort of design to it. But it's still cool. He does come with the tail. It's just a big rubbery tail. It doesn't really have like, it can move as you see, but it's not got the wire in it, so it doesn't like stay however I put it. It's just in the position it was molded in there. But still overall I think he looks pretty good. But movement-wise, we get that'll twist all the way around. Can look down that far and up that far, so pretty decent movements. As I showed you, the mouth already opens there. We get the shoulders up to 90 and rotate it around. Of course, we do have the issues with the fur, so it kind of gets in the way there. The single elbow joint to 90 with the rotation, wrist twist around and flex back and forth. Then we get the twist around at the waist, and the hip will come up there. And I just have an issue if he keeps falling apart, so he keeps being separated like that. And like I don't see that anything's broken on him. He just must be made weird because he doesn't really stick together too well, and he just fell apart on me. But his leg goes out to the side there. Then we get the single knee joint back with rotation, shin twist at the top of the boot, and the foot flex back and forth and twist side to side. So pretty much the standard Motu movement, so nothing out of the ordinary. You just got to worry about that tail on the back, which of course will twist around there, so you get that movement as well. But accessory wise, he does come with some hats. So like normal for Leatherhead, he's got like his, I want to say cowboy hat, I guess not a cowboy hat, but whatever hat design it is. So with this hat that I can't really get it to sit very well on his head to look too good, and of course just the hat itself looks silly. So if you see it from the side, that's what it looks like. So very silly looking hat. Now I wish it would fit on, because I always like this sort of design for Leatherhead, you know, makes him stand out. But like I said, I can't get really to look that good on him. But he also comes with a more Motu style hat, so we get this nice one in the orange with the spikes on it and everything, and this sort of sits on his head there just like that. So that's pretty decent. So I do like that. It gives him a hat at least. I just wish it would sit better on his head and look a little cooler, but like I said, it's better than nothing. And for his weapon, he has like this bear trap, so we get this nice big trap. I love how it's got the handle though, so you can like hold on to it and then like trap people in it. And it's got a nice see-through design. It sort of flexes back and forth and of course opens and closes. So that's all cool that we can put into his hand. So there I got Leatherhead with the bear trap now, which looks pretty cool. But like I said, unfortunately, I think overall he looks awesome. I just can't get his hats to stay on him and to look good. And of course, I always hate trying to pose up crocodiles because they have such weird, you know, from the front here, you don't really see much of it, so you got to get turned to the side. But I like the bear trap and stuff, so they can trap the other characters. Like I said, like he brings in the characters that got mutated, like He-Man and everything, so that's pretty cool. But it looks nice overall to have Leatherhead. Well, that's going to be it for our Turtles of Grayskull Walmart exclusive deluxe figures, where we got Krang, Mossman, Mer-Man, and Leatherhead. All four look really cool. Really like the designs of these. Like, these are probably some of my favorites out of the Turtles of Grayskull line, just because, like, especially like the mutated characters. Like I said, I wish Mossman was better just with his accessories. I could figure out how they work and look a little bit cooler, but I really like the look of Krang and Mer-Man. Like I said, everything else about Mossman looks cool, and the stuff he comes with, just can't get it to work out. And Leatherhead's probably the most disappointing just because he's not mutated, so it's just Leatherhead. He just has some Motu-ized stuff, but still looks cool overall for a Leatherhead. But overall, like I said, really like all these, and probably my favorite wave of the Turtles of Grayskull so far. So let me know what you thought of these 4 deluxe figures down in the comments, and if you enjoyed my review, let me know what that like, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button to see more. But I want to thank you all for watching. I hope you all stay awesome out there, and I'll see you in our next review.